Hi, I'm Katherine. I'm the Study Board Manager here at the University of Limerick, and I am interviewing today two of our UNC, or University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill freshman students to get their feel on how they got on in UL this semester. So we have Clara and we have Jaden. What was your first impression of UL and Ireland, Clara?
My first impression, I would say, when I got here was that everyone was super friendly. The Irish are known to have great crack and be joking all the time, so it made the environment a really comfortable place, and I was able to talk to everyone, and everyone talked to me. It was great.
Good.
Yeah.
And Jaden?
Yeah, I would say agreeing with Claire, it was definitely a friendly environment, and I just really like how the campus looked right when I got on it. It was beautiful. It was pretty sunny like the first few weeks we actually got here, and the leaves there, I think it was just at the moment where they were changing the color in the beginning, so the campus was just really beautiful.
Okay, I hope you got that on camera, that it was sunny when the students first came. So the sun does shine occasionally in Ireland. You mentioned it actually, Clara. What does the crack mean for people that might be watching this and they're like, what is she talking about?
The crack is fun. The crack is great conversation. And the crack is what the Irish do best.
Cara, new words or slang that you've picked up in Ireland?
I think Jaden's already used it, but I've said grand a lot.
Grand.
It's just a good response to anything. And then also I love saying cheers before everything. Saying goodbye, cheers. Enjoy your meal, cheers. I like it.
Okay, very good.
Yep. So besides grand, well, I wouldn't say I use it too much, but I hear a lot. I think it kind of means like people or like group, like when people are referring to like a group of people, they might say lot. So that's something new that I learned.
A lot of people.
There's just lot, like, hey you lot. Like, I
hey
got
you lot, okay.
like an email, someone sent that to me and I was like, what does this mean? I had to look it up.
So even though we speak English in Ireland, there's a different kind of dialect, different pronunciation and different, I don't know if they call it kind of idioms or whatever it might be to describe things. So there is still an intercultural learning, even though it's in an English-speaking environment. How have you found the weather in Ireland this semester?
I think the weather really treated us well. I don't know if we just got lucky because coming here, everybody says it rains like all the time. That first like month and a half, it was beautiful outside. You could just go out and see the sunset and the days were long. So maybe we just got lucky, but I don't know. I think I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we definitely did have a good stretch of sun.
So, Jaden, one thing that people don't know about UL, Limerick or Ireland, you decide what you want to say.
I'm just gonna say Ireland in general. Ireland, I feel like it's super diverse. Like the landscape, I remember we spent a weekend in like around the Killary Adventure Place. And the mountains there are just beautiful. Like when I was looking at it and we woke up in the morning, I was like, how this is not like what I would think of when I think of Ireland. It's crazy. And then you could go over to the Aran Islands and then you have some beaches and then like rocks. And towards Dingle, it's also diverse there. And then you have big cities like Dublin. So you just get all the different types of regions and terrains in Ireland. So that was something new.
Yeah. What did you think it was going to be like before you came?
The only thing I knew about Ireland was the cliffs of Moher. So I thought everything was just like flat areas and just cliffs everywhere, yeah.
Limerick City, I think a lot of people don't realize is super lively. And there is, there's tons of great people, tons of great crack. Just going out into the city and just exploring. Yeah. It's beautiful, and right on the river. I think a lot of people don't realize how great of a city Limerick is.
Yes. A favorite way to relax in Ireland, but obviously you're in UL, so maybe UL.
I would say I like going either to the UL Sports Center, to the gym, or just playing basketball, pick up basketball with my friends.
I was also going to say the sports center, but we're really lucky to be offered a ton of free classes at the gym, and I think they're first of all, you should really take advantage of them because they're all wonderful. And me and my friends have gotten into a habit of doing the yoga and Pilates classes. They're really fun.
What is one thing you would have loved to have known before arriving in UL? So I suppose these are tips for other students coming in the future.
I guess I would say that UL is really, it's kind of independent. It's not where every class you're gonna have a bunch of assignments to kind of keep you on track. And the time goes by really quick, so you have to keep an eye on your finals and like final exams, because the 12 weeks will move by quick, and next thing you know, you have a final and you had no homework really to kind of practice for yourself. So you have to just make sure you're on task.
That's a really good answer. And it's something that's a real a visible difference between Ireland, Europe really, because it's a European thing as opposed to just specifically Ireland, and the US, is that it's independent learning. So students are expected to manage their own time, treat it like adults, have all of their dates of their assignments, their exams, and prepare for them. There isn't really anybody checking in on you to make sure that you're reading your chapters or you're writing your essays.
I would say that I wish I knew the freedom that we had to choose our classes, our modules. In the States, it's a bit of a different process getting your classes. Here we were able to try out a ton of different modules, talk to the teachers, see if we liked them.
Yeah.
And it was a really great opportunity to, the freedom we had to build our schedule was really helpful. And I think it guided me towards making sure I was choosing classes that I was really interested in. And it was nice to be able to have a chance to try them out.
Perfect. Yeah. What are the differences that you notice in yourselves between, say, when you first arrived and towards now, the end of term?
I've definitely noticed a lot of differences in myself. The first being my ability to be self-sufficient.
Well done.
Living on your own will,
Yeah.
force you to learn some recipes and that kind of thing. Also, I think I've seen a difference in, I've been able to see things from a different perspective while being over here. And then also just meet people from not only Ireland, but countries all over the world. Talk to them about what they do, how they live, and just compare it to mine and see how wonderful our world is.
So it's been a great experience for you.
Yes.
Everything you thought it would be.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think it helped me mature sooner. There's nobody there really telling you, oh, clean your room, wash your dishes, or and also helped me definitely with recipes, because my sister back at home, she used to cook a bunch for me. So when I got here, I kind of had to start doing things on my own, making my own meals. It's not every day that you want to go out and just buy food.
Exactly. So. Yeah. It's cheaper. It's much cheaper to cook in.
That's another thing. Groceries here, so much less expensive than in the United States. It's great.
And they're fresh. There's no preservatives like how it is in the US. So.
But what you do have to be careful about with that is that since they'll spoil faster.
Oh yes,
your bread will mold faster.
You need to eat them.
You need to eat it.
Yeah.
Because in the United States, they put all
The same with
sorts
your
of stuff.
milk. Yeah, you need to drink your milk and you need to eat your bread.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about maybe the differences in the accommodation in UL versus the US, or what you're going to get when you go home and go to Chapel Hill?
So one thing I'm really gonna miss is our own rooms. We have a huge bed that is actually even bigger than the bed I had back at home. So that's crazy. And we have our own bathroom. We have our own little closet area.
I've always loved to travel. I found my love for travel probably around freshman year in high school. And so coming here was a really exciting thing for me. And I think coming here really solidified my passion for exploring other cultures and learning about different peoples.
I guess I would say, so I've just like Claire, I've always liked traveling. I would say probably sophomore years when I first did my first big abroad travels, and it was just, Europe is just so different compared to the US. I feel like you get both the big cities, but also the old history vibes from different locations. So it's interesting seeing the history, and Europe is so diverse.
Talk a little bit about that then, because that is a big deal for US students who, normally don't get public transportation, whether it's, obviously they get flights and whatnot. So talk a little bit about how it's different in Ireland and in other parts of Europe.
Yeah, so Ireland is really, you're able to bike basically anywhere you want to go. You don't always have to rely on the buses. Sometimes it might be delayed, so you just decide to take a bike to the grocery store. And sometimes it's even quicker, like to get to the Limerick city, I think it takes about 15-20 minutes biking. If you took the bus, so it could get up to 40 minutes, so you just decide to bike.
So you can get the free bikes that are in your accommodation in your village, and then cycle in by the river maybe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It's also a beautiful view as you're going there.
And what about kind of how do you get to Dublin and Cork and Galway?
I've gone to Dublin so many times that I feel like I've mastered it. You can take either the bus or you can take the train. Bus is about €8.50 and the train is about €11 for students. I prefer the bus because I feel like it's less switching.
Yeah.
It picks you up right on campus and will bring you right into the city. It's a bit long, but you can do some work on the bus. You can take a nap. It usually takes like 3 hours.
2.5 to 3 hours.
2.5 usually ends up taking 3 hours probably.
So probably 2 hours from Limerick suburbs to Dublin suburbs, but
Yeah.
another 45 minutes to get into Dublin
Into
city
the
centre,
city.
because obviously
Yeah.
it's a busy city
Exactly.
with traffic. And tell me about the bus experience then.
Oh, the
They
buses
do
have
have
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, yeah.
Leather seats.
And chargers.
Are they safe?
They're
Yeah,
very
definitely.
safe.
Very safe.
Yes.
They have a bathroom on most of the buses too, yeah.
So how is it different to getting public transport in the US? Now obviously you live in Boston, but if you live in the more rural areas, it's do people get public transport a lot?
Yeah, in New York, definitely with the whole trains and the buses, it's definitely a big use. I would say more in the upstate region though, everybody's just driving.
Everybody drives,
Yeah.
yeah. So I suppose that's the one of the main differences between the US and Ireland. A, Ireland is so tiny, and B, people go, they get, like, I get the bus, I get the train, I'm going to Dublin on Friday, I'm getting the train.
It's I feel safe everywhere I was in Europe, even in Ireland, especially in Ireland actually. People are just so nice with directions. They'll make sure that you're on the right place. If it's a bus, and you can even ask the bus drivers before you get on. And they'll always let you know. You can just show your phone, oh, is this the right place? Is it gonna take me here? And they're always willing to help. So I've always felt safe, and I never really had any sense of danger.
Good.
Yeah, I feel like it's very similar in the US, be aware of your surroundings and just be careful. But I mean, I really have not run into anything.
Do you have a favorite memory from your time at UL?
The first night the UNC group got here, there were still we were one of the few groups of people that were on campus.
Yeah.
The Irish students weren't here yet, so we kind of had an opportunity to all hang out and just focus on getting to know each other. And so we ended up going out and walking into Castle Troy and just exploring. And I got so close with people just within that first night that I knew I'd still be friends with them when I get back home.
It's lovely. So you've made lasting, like, for life friendships.
Yes.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I think one of my favorite memories towards the beginning of the semester, a few of my friends and we biked up this, I don't know the name of the location, but it's a big hill where you could see all over the Limerick city. And we were next to the cows, we were next to the sheep. It just felt like a completely different vibe than what I'm used to. And we just watched the sunset for the rest of the night. So it was just a really great time.
Endless support. I mean, there's Mental Health Mondays. We get an email every Monday just reminding us to focus on our wellness and things like that. It's very reassuring.
Yeah.
There's centers for basically all of the subjects. The writing center is an extremely helpful tool.
Did you use it?
I did.
Great.
Just to go in and just have them, even just for peace of mind, to have them look over my essay and my work. And then, I mean, one of my favorite things about being here was the first 7 weeks program and like their hub.
Yeah.
Because so there were students that would stand outside and make sure we knew where all of our classes were. And if we didn't, they were wearing bright orange shirts.
That's
we
right.
knew where they were.
Yeah.
We could just ask them. And I had to ask them a lot of questions. So if they weren't there, I probably would have been a lot more lost.
Yeah. And with Jaden?
I think she hit all the points. I was gonna say the student or the writing center, that also helped me, especially with writing APA format, because we're used to, or at least I'm used to writing MLA, so it was kind of a transition. And definitely the first 7 weeks helping us with that main building, because that main building could get a little difficult at times.
A little difficult.
Yeah. What I loved most about the end of orientation week, so obviously when the students come, when you guys at the start of term, you're here for 7 days or 5 days, and then the weekend there's stuff happening. And one of you guys, at I think it was the end of maybe the start of week 1, so the start of term, and they were directing the Irish students around campus, because the Irish first years were like, I don't know where I am, but you guys had been here for the entire like 8 or 10 days at that stage, so you're like, oh, you need to go here, this is the way you do it. And I was like, yes, so my study abroad first years are actually showing the UL first years how to navigate their way around campus. But
Oh yeah, that was really really great to have. I remember when we heard that we were going to be here for almost an entire week of just orientation before the Irish students got here. I was a little confused, and I was like, I feel like we don't need that.
so, I mean, how is Ireland being for, for you guys or for your friends that maybe, aren't Catholic, aren't white? How have you found it? Have you found it kind of welcoming to yeah.
It's so interesting because I think I forget in the United States how diverse of a population there is.
Yes.
So everything automatically seems adept to, rather than it being the Christmas season, it's the holiday season and things like that. And here it's just a different culture, so it's a different area. But the best part is everyone is still so honoring of anyone that's part of a different culture. So even though Christmas is the main holiday that's coming up this season, the Globe does a great job of recognizing all the different holidays, and you can find anything you need and people to help you out with anything you need.
So what about you, Jane?
No, I honestly think she nailed it on perfectly. I agree that it's a sense of inclusivity in Ireland, so you don't really feel left out in any type of area. I think it's very multicultural, because I was actually surprised coming here. I wasn't expecting to meet Nigerian students in Ireland. I was kind of confused. So it's definitely something that I wasn't expecting, but it's definitely a good plus.
But when you're thrown into such a different environment, you really explore doing new things, and you can find out a side of yourself that you never knew you had.
And I feel that going back to our home states, we're going to be more appreciative of our environment.
Would you recommend the program to future UNC students?
I have already recommended the program to everyone I know, even if they're not going to UNC, any opportunity that they can to study abroad for a semester, because most people that I talk to will say, yeah, I definitely know I want to study abroad, but maybe they don't necessarily want to do it for a semester. I think this was a great decision for me because coming right out of high school, which is a bunch of years of, do this for college, do this for college, do this for college. This helped me step back and just get a new perspective on things and just explore a part of myself that I would not have gotten to explore if I went right to college. Yeah, in Chapel Hill.
Great answer.
Adding on that, I feel like it's a really good way to make yourself mature before you actually go to your home university. If you go straight to your home university, I feel like it's easy to make a bunch of mistakes. Here you don't really have the chance to make those mistakes, because I feel like it has more of an effect on you. Your parents aren't there to be watching you, as in the States. You could make a mistake, but you could fall back on your parents. So now that we're going back, we're just going to be, I feel like, even in a better position than our classmates.
Because you're going back then, I think what you're saying is kind of more mature, in yourself, not just as students, but as young people as well. So you can definitely take that kind of independence kind of back with you.